All right, let's get this party started tonight. This is our second week of skills training, and this is our second week of the brand partner certification. And I just want to give a shout out to a few people who have completed week one, and they are Ashton Robinson, Lygia, I believe your last name, Lygia, is pronounced Conea, but let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. We have Caitlin Brown, Judy Opperman, Nicole Birch, Heather Osborne, Beth Hooker, Amy Gregory, Brenda Choate, Jenny Silver, Sonia Thompson, Jennifer Muma, Robin Halper, and Anna Montgomery, who have all completed week one. And you guys, here's the thing. If you have not completed week one, but you're just jumping in and you want to go back and complete it, you can do that. We will leave the Google form open so you can get caught up. Do not feel like you're behind. Take this week, because this week, actually, week one was very much like a syllabus. And so you can take week one, do it tonight, and then also go ahead and do week two. So, hi, Teresa. So good to see you. And Heather and Mom, I see you. And Paula. Awesome. So good to have you guys on here. All right. So tonight we better dive in because we have a lot to go into. Skill number one, week number 2. We're on skill number 1 tonight. And this is the very first fundamental in order to have the skills necessary to grow a network marketing business. Now, I'm just going to kind of remind you why we're talking about this in terms of skills. Hi, Nicole. I literally just shouted you out for completing this first week. So fun to be here with you guys. So, why do we need to learn skills? Well, I found for me that even though it sounds a little bit, kind of analytical and check the boxy, when I realized that building a network marketing business was in a skill set and there were certain skills that I could learn, for me, it opened the opportunity to realize I can actually do this. I could learn how to ride a bike. I could learn how to do math. I could learn how to do any simple skill that I have in my life, and you do too. And what's amazing about it is once you learn a skill, that can never be taken from you. Once you have that muscle memory towards something, and I can tell you one thing, these skills that we're going to talk about in the next 7 weeks are going to be the kind of skills that set you up for a life of unlimited potential. If you can grow a business in network marketing, hi Savannah, good to see you. If you have the skills necessary to grow a business in network marketing, you have the skills necessary to do anything in building any business that you want. Because the difference, well, I guess maybe that's not 100% accurate, because we don't have to manage shipping, we don't have to manage production of anything, we don't have to manage any of the customer service side, although sometimes we do take that. But once you learn how to promote something, all of a sudden the world is your oyster. So grab an oil that's closest to you. I went ahead and got Valor, and I'm going to Valor up right now if my Valor has more drops in it. I've been using a lot of Valor today. So there we go, as I'm sure you guys have as well. And then I also grabbed Envision. This is a fresh new bottle of Envision, and I'm going to put some of this, the way that I like to do this is on the crown of my head. And I notice great things happen and great ideas happen after that. So, all right. So the first skill that we're going to talk about tonight is finding prospects. Now, if this term is extremely turning you off because you don't like that term prospects, or you don't like the idea of finding them, then I'm going to just rephrase it and ask you to translate it every time I say finding prospects. The reason I call it finding prospects is because we are following the 7 skills of network marketing, which are in Eric Worre's book called Go Pro. That these are the chapter titles, and this is what he teaches. And this is, even though some of his terms are a little bit outdated, I find that they're still, the concepts hold true. So the reason why most people don't like the word prospects is because they feel like when you put a label on it like prospects, they're like, I don't want to see people as what they can do for me. I want to just be there to serve them. And that is 100% how I feel about it. But I use the word prospects for clarity of communication. So sometimes in my files, I'll say friends who still need oils. That will be a term that I'll use. Or sometimes I'll say things like finding new friends, or finding friends, or I'll say all of these things that aren't exactly clear. They're not exactly what I'm trying to say is prospects. So if you like the term, hi Leslie, good to see you. Hi Judy. If you like the word friends better than you like the word prospects, then I'm just going to ask that every time I say that, you translate it in your head and don't make it mean anything that it doesn't need to mean. Okay? And the reason why I say that is simply for clarity. Let's talk number one about the importance of making a list, because if we haven't talked about this yet, this is like fundamental baseline. A lot of times when we get in this business, a lot of people stumble into this business because they have a genuine, heartfelt, deeply rooted love for the products of Young Living. And I think that for all of us here, we can say that is why we were here. That is why we are here. That is why we started a business, is because first we had products that deeply impacted us. I know for me, that moment that I had lavender on the bottom of Moses's feet when he was 3 days old, and I saw that reaction in his body, and I saw him have a total detox moment. And for me, the mother, it was undeniable that before I put the lavender on, he did not have that kind of support. After I put the lavender on, he did. And so for me, it was that moment that I realized if these oils have power, they can really help people. So what I did at first was not professional. What I did at first was I just thought, okay, I have all these people in my life and I would like to be the one that they get oils from. So I'm just going to start talking. And I started talking to people here, and I started talking to people there, and I started talking to people over here, and I started talking to people over here. What happened was, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was teaching a class, and it was for oils, and it was an oils and babies class. And of course, I didn't know anything about oils. So you know what I did? I went to YouTube. I watched an oils and babies class. I took rigorous notes, and then I literally regurgitated that information on I think it was a call-in class. One of the girls that I invited was a childhood friend of mine. She was interested in oils, and I invited her, and she came. And I knew she came because on freeconferencecall.com at that time, you could see what phone numbers dialed in. So I knew that she was there, and I was super excited about it. But guess what? I did not follow up. I did not follow up. I thought, if she wants the information, she'll come to me. And I really just thought that was a great strategy. I'll just share the education. I'll share the information. If she wants it, she's going to come to me. About a month later, I found out that she got a starter kit with Young Living with someone that she worked with. And I was devastated. I was devastated. I was so upset. And I wasn't upset that she didn't do anything wrong. I knew that I had dropped the ball. And I didn't drop the ball because somewhere after about a week of the class, I didn't follow up with her. I didn't reach back out and say, what did you think about the class? What did you like? But someone at her work did. Someone at her work said, I'm selling essential oils. Do you want to join my team? And she said yes, because I had given her that education and taught that class. And so what I decided in that day is, if I'm going to be a professional in this business, I'm going to have to be organized. And being organized was not in that time in my personality, and it wasn't in my skill set. I would have a notebook here and a notebook there and do things on all sorts of places, and I did not have any system for myself. And so I decided, if I'm going to do this business well, and I'm going to do it in a way that I can actually reach a lot of people, which is how I want to do. I want to reach a lot of people. I want to serve a lot of people. And here's the other side of that coin, is I felt so strongly that I could support that girl better than anybody else. I felt like I was bringing a level of education and care to my team that I knew she wasn't going to get somewhere else. And whether that's true or not, that's what I believed. And so it was like crushing. And so basically what I decided at that moment is, I'm going to take this very seriously. And so I started what we call a prospects list. Now, all of this is going to make sense here in a minute. Hey, Laura. All of this is going to make sense in a minute. Making a list gave me the framework in order to actually be organized with my prospects and with my friends who still needed oils, which are the same thing. It made me realize that if I'm going to stay organized, I'm going to have to be working through a list. Does this mean that I am only contacting them so that they will get oils? Absolutely not. But it does mean that now all of a sudden I have a system to my connection. So imagine with me for a minute that you are a pastor of a church, okay? You have this community that is entrusted, you're entrusted with in a spiritual way. You are serving that community, you're showing up for that community. And when someone in the church gets sick, and they're in the hospital, the pastor goes to that hospital and sits with them, cries with them, prays with them, loves on them, takes care of them. And does he get paid for that interaction? No. How does he get paid though? He gets paid from the church. The church pays him to be there for the, oh no, Laura. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Worried about my friends over on Zoom. It's okay. I know. We switched to Facebook Live. So, okay. So back to my example. So the pastor shows up for the congregation and trusts that he's or she is going to be taken care of, right? So in that same way, when you know that your vision with Young Living is so long-term, it's so good, and you know that in the next 5 years, if you were to enroll or have 100 people in your team, right? You have 100 people in your team, or maybe 150, you're hitting the rank of silver, you're getting that, whatever, $1,500, $2,000 a month. That is funding you to be of service to your community. Now, what we have to do as network marketers is sometimes we have to show up in that service, in that community before Young Living is actually paying us. We have to show up as that person, but we know that that's what we're creating. So that's how I like to see it. And that means that when I'm engaging with my prospects, and we'll talk about that next week, so don't worry about that right now. When I'm engaging with them though, I'm doing it in a way that's like, how can I serve them in this moment? And usually the conversation has absolutely nothing to do with oils. Okay, so with this list, you will want to make sure you actually have people on it. And those people will come from your connections. Most of you, I'm going to just go ahead and guess that most of the people in your friends list on Facebook do not have Young Living essential oils. Most of the people in your friends list on Facebook do not have essential oils. That is fantastic, and that's exciting. So there will come a point though, and if that's where you're at, then what we'll talk about homework later, but what you get to focus on right now is actually making sure that your list has those names on it. The name, you get to be a detective and ask questions and find out who does not have oils that I am directly in relationship to, that I can put on my community service list, my prospects list, that I'm going to care about these people list, that I'm willing to show up for these people list. That's what, imagine it's a Christmas list. That's how I want you to see it. That's how it's going to be fueling. That's how it's sustainable. Okay, so there will come a point though. There will come a point when you enroll these people. And at that point, you will need to expand your list. And you will expand your list then by finding more friends who still need oils, finding more prospects, finding more people. And so, by the way, pause. It is very normal to be nervous about this aspect. It is very normal to imagine and have all sorts of things come up. So if things are coming up for you and you're like, yeah, this terrifies me, just know it's okay. It's normal. I consider myself a pretty confident person. This was absolutely the part that terrified me the most, but I'm glad we're talking about it tonight. So where can you find prospects? There's a video on YouTube called 5 Steps to Unlimited Prospects. I recommend you go watch it as a bonus to this video. I really love it. It's from Eric Worre. So 5 Steps to Unlimited Prospects, Eric Worre, E-R-I-C, Worre, W-O-R-R-E. But I'm going to give you some ideas on where you can find prospects, which means find people who don't have oils. There are 2 ways. There's, in my opinion, 2 most powerful ways. One is through community, and communities that you authentically align with. So communities, for example, would be like churches, schools, gyms that have classes, activities, book clubs, library groups, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, anything that has community built around it. Yay, Laura, me too. I just joined PTA today. So there are ways that you can get in community and get in volunteering at a local shelter, or get in where you're doing something and it's in service of others, and you're going to meet new people. You're going to meet new friends. Now, does that mean Laura and I are going to go into PTA and all of a sudden shake their hand and say, hi, my name is Bethany, my name is Laura, and I do Young Living Essential Oils. If you ever need essential oils, contact me for your needs. No. Young Living is usually a sliver of the entire relationship. And we're going to talk more about that next week, but I just want you to know that's not how it goes, okay? So, finding communities to join in. most people who get stuck in their business are actually stuck in their home. Most people who are getting stuck in their business are getting stuck in their home, or they're stuck in their cubicle, or they're stuck in their whatever. They're stuck because they're not unleashing that new community mindset. Okay, so communities is one side. The other side is in public. And there are a few different ways I've written down that I want to share with you how you can meet new people that are specifically in public focused on your business. The first one is vendor booths. There are vendor groups probably in your area. If you Google vendor opportunities in my area, setting up a booth does not need to be complicated. You do not have to have the entire booth full of diffusers and layered things and awesome things. I have actually done this where I literally showed up with my starter kit. That's all I had at the time. My starter kit and a black tablecloth, and just said hi and talked to people and talked to them about whatever it was they wanted to talk about. And sure, if oils came up, I'd love to talk with them about it. Yes, I do oils. Tell me about what you do. Let's get connected, and let's be friends on Facebook. Let's be friends on Instagram. Getting that connection outside of just that interaction. We'll talk about that in a minute. Vendor booths is a way to do that. There are people, Judy goes to farmers market like every week, meets tons of people. Lori in the house. Lori Bori is in the house. What a surprise. Lori, you should be teaching this class. Networking events. Networking events, I am obsessed with networking events. So this is what that looks like. I go in, I shake hands, I get their cards, I learn about whatever they do. If they ask me what I do, I share it, and I hope they do. And if they do, I say I'm an essential oil queen. So they are like, okay, well, whatever that means. Then I email them a follow-up, and I get on their schedule if I can. My last 6 enrollments have come directly from meeting people at a networking event, getting lunch or coffee with them, having a fantastic connection. Oils came up. They either want to get some, or they watch my stories and then they get some. It's my favorite way to meet new people at this point. Okay, the last one, actually that was it. So let's talk about people who are fantastic networkers aren't just at networking events. You will notice, I'm going to rewind and tell you a story. I was at a private show, a music show that my brothers did in the backyard of their friend several years ago. And I met this couple who they were just radiant. Mom, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. So there was this couple, they were radiant. They were network marketing professionals. They were in a weight loss company. They were lit up about what they were doing. And they were not going around telling everybody to buy their shakes. They were connecting, heart-focused, heart-centered first. And to this day, we're friends on Facebook and we chat. Mom, do you know who I'm talking about? I'm curious. And so what I realized is that fantastic networkers, they all have one thing in common, and that is that the relationship truly comes first. The relationship because you never know how they are going to serve you or how you are going to serve them. It may be that you never know. It may be that they lost their cat and you're the one that finds it. You just never know. Powerful professional network marketers, this right here, powerful professional network marketers have a way of collecting friends everywhere they go. Yes, step 1, love your life. Yes, build that relationship first. Make sure that it is just, I have a friend, Kyle, and everybody who knows Kyle loves him. And Kyle's the first person I call whenever I'm looking for certain type of wood that people might be throwing away, or who might want to buy some hay bales, or who he might know that's selling a tractor, or who they might know who's selling a Connex. Kyle's that person who just knows everyone. We'll go out to eat, and by the way, Kyle's not even in this business yet, which I probably should call him again. I've been calling him about network marketing for 8 years now. We go into Chipotle. He can't even finish his meal because people know him so much that they just come right up. They start talking to him, and he's just talking. Kyle has everything he needs to be successful, and I'm going to literally have to tell him about this call because he's going to love this. Of course, he's not in network marketing yet, but he has that skill set, and it inspires me so much. So relationship first, be more interested in them than anything, and build relationships everywhere you go. Make it a habit and a practice. Okay, so next step is to make it a game. I love this. So here is what I'm going to suggest to you, and this is not the homework. This is just what I want you to aim for. 100 names on a list is a fantastic goal to have, because when you have 100 people on a list, it creates this opportunity for you to not feel desperate and like you're circling back to the same person. I've met people who have like 7 people on their list, and that's great. It's a great start. But after you get to that 7th person, the only person you have left to talk to is going back to number 1, and you just talked to them one day ago. So what I've found is that when you have a bigger list, you have more opportunity, you have more connection. Now, managing that and managing all those relationships takes a very extreme skill set. And it takes getting the skill of interacting in a way that's powerful quicker. That has been something that has been the most challenging for me, because in my mind, because quality time is such a thing, it's like, well, if I love that person, I should spend 3 hours a month with them. And that, unfortunately, isn't going to work in this business. If you want to serve more people, you have to be able to connect with more people. Now, that can be done in multiple different ways, but it does go a far way just to send someone a quick text that says, I've been thinking about you. Thank you for showing up in my life. Hey, I know we don't talk very often. I just want you to know I love you. And all of that is so genuine, and it's staying connected. All right, so we're going to do some math real quick. So if you give emotionally to your list every single day for 10 minutes a day, so let's say every weekday, you have 10 minutes set aside in your day to give emotionally to the people on your prospects list. And finding prospects. Let's do it like that. Finding prospects. That's what I meant. And finding people to talk to. That right there is 240 minutes a month, which is 4 hours a month. Do you think you could add 24 people a month if you had 4 hours to work towards that? I would bet you do. If you go to 4 networking events that are each an hour and you add 5 each one, you all of a sudden have that, so it's very, very doable. So if you were to double that time and work on that skill set for 20 minutes a day, then all of a sudden you have 8 hours a month that you're working on that. Really doable when we break it down. Here's the problem. The problem is when we say, I'm going to find prospects, and then we don't put it in our schedule and we don't do it. And then we get to the end of the month and we realize our prospects list didn't move at all in the number. And then we go out bananas and try to add a bunch of people and make a bunch of friends, but we didn't create the habit. It's so much easier when it's just who you are. It's so much easier if at the grocery store, every time they ring you up and they check out, that you look them in the eye and say, how are you doing today? And they say, all right, it's almost quitting time. Like, oh, you haven't had a good day? And do the Lori Bori and just sit there and say, really? And listen. And before you know it, you're going to have an opportunity. Heck, choose the checkout lane instead of self-checkout. That's a great start. Can you believe we do that now? We do that job for them. Yes, don't do self-checkout. Like Heather said, go to a person. So becoming that person means you got to maybe break some walls down about being friendly and who you are and how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as a friendly person? Do you see yourself as an initiator in relationships? Do you see yourself as a person who draws people in to talk to you? If you don't, then remember, you are going to do anything you need to do in your power to remain consistent with the identity you believe you are. You will do anything in your power. I will do anything in my power to remain consistent with the identity I believe I am. So if I believe that my identity is a friendly person, I will do everything in my power to maintain friendly. If I don't believe I'm a friendly person, if I wear a shirt that says, nope, not today, I hate people, I'm going to do everything in my power to maintain that way. So here's the hard part, is changing the identity. I think I've already done this with you guys, but if I haven't, let's do it right now. Put your hands like this in front of you, and on the count of 3, I want you to just clasp your hands, okay? So you got your hands about 6 inches apart, and go. All right, which one did you put over the other? Which thumb did you put over the other? I put my right thumb over my left thumb. Which one did you do? Did you do right over or left over? After you've identified which one you did, I want you to go back to 6 inches again, and we're gonna do it the other way. So mix it up. So I'm gonna go the opposite one that I just did. All right? So 3, 2, 1, opposite. Ooh, that feels a little weird. Feels a little bit weird. Why does that feel weird? Well, because sometime 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was 9 years old, or probably now 25 years ago, when I was 4 years old, my kindergarten teacher said, okay, all the children sit crisscross applesauce and put your hands together on your lap. And I did it that one day, and then the next day I did it again, and I created what was called a habit and a pattern. And that pattern I got really, really good at. I got very talented at that pattern. So now every time I cross my hands, I know exactly where to go. It's right there. It's right under left. That's what we've done in our behavior. We've created a pattern. Our patterns have dictated our life up until this point. So if you are someone that says, yeah, I'm not friendly, or you deep down feel, you know there's an identity that's stopping you from being that magnetic networker, how is that working out for you right now? And is that a pattern that you're willing to change? Because if you are willing to change it, the uncomfortable moment of, that's weird, that's not who I am, that's not who my spouse sees me as, that's not who my family sees me as, that's not who my friends see me as, all of a sudden you have that moment of, it feels weird, it feels uncomfortable, it feels uncertain, I'm not sure about this. And this, my friends, is why most people don't succeed in this industry. It's not because they're not willing to put 50 names on a list. Good grief, that part is easy. It's not because they're not even willing to talk to them. Most people are. And the problem is when we get open in our soul and in our identity and we say, who do we really want to be? And then we're willing to step up to the mirror and say, gosh, I'm a person, I'm a human that has the ability to change who I am. I can change how friendly I am. I can change how excited I am. I can change how magnetic I am. That change, it's uncomfortable as heck. But it right there is so exciting because all of a sudden you are a blank canvas and you can create who you are. Do you want red hair? Do you want blue hair? Do you want brown hair? Do you want white hair? Do you want curly hair? Do you want straight hair? That's just hair. Do you want shaped eyebrows? Do you want flat eyebrows? This is just the physical. What about the spiritual? What about the way we interact? What about the way we engage? Oh my gosh, the horse blinders are off. Who do you want to be? If you can get clear on that, you will have zero problem with finding prospects. You will have zero problem. The world, and once you have zero problem with that, the world is your oyster. It is just the doors wide open. And I'll tell you who I want to be. Hold on. I wonder if I have this right here. Hold on. I do. I do have this right here. All right, here we go. You guys are going to hear this in the last 2 minutes and I'll give you homework. I've been working on this for months. Okay. I show up at a level 10 to everything I do. I am powerfully confident, courageously connected. I'm invested. I'm dedicated. I'm authentic. I'm wildly available. I'm openly committed. I'm generous. I give honest feedback. I am a results generator. I am emotionally present and available to others. I'm creative in how I get things done, passionate about what I do, compassionate with those around me. I'm magnetic to those who are watching. I'm grateful for what I've been given. I'm so full of love energy that it is palpable for other people to experience and become inspired through me. I am powered by nature. I am hydrated. I love my body for giving me such a beautiful experience. I am bold. When I get attention, I smile and say thank you. Every way that I present present myself represents my brand. I'm passionately dedicated, intentionally focused. I have personal power that commands a room. I'm able to hold it all, the highs, the lows. I'm present to perspective, remembering that no one wishes they made more money on their deathbed. With Eli, I'm confident and vulnerable. I'm fun and free because to love with anything less than everything is wasting the most precious gift of life. My purpose in this life is to make an impact, inspiring others to truly live through my gifts of seeing people for who they truly are, and to give platform that benefits everyone involved to make the world a better and more connected place. That's what I'm working toward. Every day, that's what I'm working toward. All right, you ready for homework? Homework for this week is if you have not had a prospects list yet, and you're just getting started with that prospects list, to have 50 people on it by next week. So that would be 10 every weekday. So 10 today, 10 tomorrow, 10 Wednesday, 10 Thursday, 10 Friday, or you could do all 50 at once. If you already do have a prospects list and you're like, let's go, I'm already there, I'm going to challenge you to add 5 names to that and bonus points if you've never, and there's actually not actually a point system, so bonus points is just me saying that. Bonus points if you meet them this week. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to try to meet 5 people this week, and you ended up having 3 people get added on your prospects list that you already knew, that you forgot you didn't have on there, and then you meet 2 new people, that still counts. That still counts. Now, even if you have 5 people that you already knew and you added into your list, great. But I just want you to try to have at least one that you meet this week be one of those new 5. You could do all 5 in one day. You could do 1 a day for 5 days. It doesn't matter, as long as by next Monday, so a week from today, you have 5 new people on your prospects list, or you pick that first option, which is you have a prospects list with 50 people. And we're going to go honor system on this. You don't have to post it or anything, but this is the homework. Does that make sense? I hope so. And it is 8:02, so I've officially crossed the time. I've gone 2 minutes over. I love you all. I hope to see you next week. And don't forget to fill out the form in the description of this video, because when you fill out that form, it tells me that you are in it to win it, and you're going to get that certification. I mean, I'm literally mailing out a certification, so I'm excited about it. This is going to be, this is something new we're doing. So, all right. Have a great night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.